Section 5.1, Simple Interest. First, we have APR, stands for Annual Percentage Rate. Interest rates are usually given as an annual percentage rate, or APR, the total interest that will be paid in the year. For most long-term, simple interest loans, it is common for interest to be paid on an annual basis. In that case, interest will be earned each year on the principal or initial value. For example, suppose you borrowed $10,000 from a friend and agreed to repay it with 3% annual interest in 5 years. You borrowed $10,000 from a friend and you are willing to pay 3% interest each year in 5 years. This is a table that lists out the year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the amount that you borrow, and also the interest that they earned. I borrowed $10,000, so my principal is $10,000. The interest that I'll be paying my friend is 3% of this $10,000. To find 3% of $10,000, I convert 3% to decimal. 3% is 0.03. I'll take 0.03 multiplied by 10,000, and that gives me $300. So if I borrow $10,000 from a friend and pay them 3% annual interest, the first year I pay them $300 in interest. For the second year, because this is a simple interest, so I don't add the interest into my principal. My principal will stay the same for the whole 5 years. So it's going to be $10,000 on the second year. I still owe my friend $10,000. And on the second year, I will pay him 3% in interest. So the interest will be 3% of $10,000, which is 0.03 times $10,000, which is $300. So the interest that I'll pay my friend on the second year will be also $300. For the third year, my principal stays the same. I still owe him $10,000. The interest on the third year is still 3% of $10,000, which is 0.03 times $10,000, which is also $300. On the fourth year, I still owe him $10,000. The interest I'll pay is still 3% of the $10,000, which is 0.03 times $10,000, which is also $300. And similar on the fifth year, I still owe him $10,000. I pay him 3% interest, which is 0.03 times $10,000, which is $300. So I borrowed $10,000 for 5 years, and each year I'll pay him $300. So the total interest that I'll pay him is 300 plus 300 plus 300 plus 300 plus 300, which is 1,500. After the fifth year, when I repay my friend, I have to repay the principal $10,000 and the interest $1,500. The total repay amount will be $10,000 plus $1,500. To find the total interest that I have to pay in 5 years, instead of finding the interest each year in the 5 years and then add them up, I can just take 300 multiplied by 5. So if I take 300 times 5, I get 1500. So instead of doing this each individual year, I can just take 0.03 times 10,000 times 5, I get 1500. And that is my simple interest formula. To find the total interest, I'll take the principal, which is the amount that I borrowed originally, times the annual interest rate, times time in year. So I equals PRT. P is the principal, R is the rate, and T is the time in year. This I stand for the interest. To find the account balance, which is the total amount including the principal and the interest, I'll take the principal plus the interest, which is A equals P plus I. Example. Suppose your city is building a new park and issues bonds to raise the money to build it. You obtain a $5,000 bond that pays 4.5% interest annually that matures in 5 years. Question A. How much interest will you earn? So you bought a $5,000 bond that pays 4.5% annual interest and in 5 years. My principal is $5,000. My annual interest rate is 4.5% and my times is 5 years. So P is $5,000. Rate is 4.5%, but I want this rate in decimal, so I take 4.5 divided by 100. I get 0.045, and my times is 5. First, I need to find the interest, which is I. I'm using the simple interest formula, I equals PRT. I will replace P with $5,000, replace R with 0.045, and replace T with 5. And I will put that in a calculator. I'll take $5,000 times 0.045 times 5. The interest that I'll earn after 5 years is $1,125. Question B. How much money will you have in total after 5 years? So how much money will I have in total after 5 years? So 5 years ago, I had $5,000 and I bought a bond that pays me 4.5% interest. After 5 years, I earned $1,125 in interest, and also I still have my principal $5,000. So to find the total money after 5 years, I'll take my principal plus the interest. So I'll use the formula A equals P plus I. A stands for the total money that I have in the account. P is the original amount of money that I have, which is 5,000. Plus I is the interest that I earned after 5 years, 1,125. So I have $6,125 total after 5 years. Next example, Maria invests $16,000 at 3% simple interest for 19 years. The original amount of money that Maria has is $16,000. Simple interest of 3% per year and total of 19 years. So my principal is $16,000. My interest rate is 3% per year. So R is 0.03. Always make sure to convert the percent to decimal. And T is 19. Question A. How much interest will she earn? So if Maria invests $16,000 at 3% simple interest rate for 19 years, to find the interest that she earned after 19 years, we use the simple interest formula, I equals PRT. I'll replace P with $16,000, replace R with 0.03, and replace T with 19. And I'll put this in my calculator. So I have 16,000 times 0.03 times 19. I have $9,120. So after 19 years, the total interest that Maria earns is $9,120. Question B. How much is in the account at the end of the 19-year period? Maria starts with $16,000. She left it in there for 19 years with the simple interest rate of 3% per year. So at the end of the 19-year period, she earned $9,120 in interest. So in her account, she'll have $16,000 plus $9,120. I'll use the formula A equals P plus I. A stands for the total amount I have in the account. P stands for the principal, which is the original amount of money that I have. I stands for the interest. So I have A equals 16,000 plus 9,120, which is $25,120.